So in this tutorial, we're gonna take a look at the JavaScript map. What is map in JavaScript? But before we start talking about the map, we should understand why map came in JavaScript. Prior to ES6, when you need to map keys to the value, you often use objects. But using objects replace of the map um, had some side effects. So what was those side effects? The first thing, that a key of an object must be a string. So I declare a variable, I call it obj, and assign it to an object. So in this object we have a name, a property called a property called name, and assign a name to it, which is Alex. So here I say console dot log, and I try to access the object of the object, and from the object of the object we refer to the keys property, and from the keys property we pass the object, which is used to take the key from an object. Now if I save it in the console, we get name, nothing special, right? But if I came here and pass a number and save it in the console, we get a noun with a double quotation around it. That means that the JavaScript tries to change this to a string even we pass a number here. But this problem is solved in a map. So to declare a map, I declare again a variable. I'll call it and assign it to the new map. Using this, we can declare a map. So inside this, we open up two inner brackets, and inside the brackets we can type the pair. For example, 1 Alex. And now if I came in the console and say console dot login, I don't know why I passed double dot, and pass the map here and save it in the console, what we get is a map with the key of 1 and the value of Alex. And as you see, the name the key can be anything, even a number, and the number is not changed. The other thing that we can get we can't get the size of an object, but we can get the size of a map. So we don't have any property called size in object. We can get its size, but we have in map. So here, if I came and say size, we can get the size of the map, but it's undefined for an object. And here I can pass another parse. For example, I pass 2, and the 2 is G. Now if I save it, here in the console we have the size of the map, which is 2. So the other thing is that we can use the object. We can use the object as a key for, we can use the object as a key for the map, but we can't use it for an object. I declare a variable, call it obj, and assign it to an empty object, and I came here and declare some other object, call it a, and assign it to an empty object again, and another one called b, and assign it to an empty object, and again. And I want to use this this object as the key for this object. So here I can come and say for example obj, and its index, or as a key we're gonna pass the a, and assign it to a value, for example a. Now if I came here and say console dot log, and pass the object here. Now if I save it in the console, we get object of object, which is that object which its value is 1, it is a. No problem yet. But if I came here and say obj and pass the, and assign it to another and use another key for it, for example I assign it to the b and save it, you see that this the line of the 16 is perfectly replaced the first one, and we can't use an object as a key for another object, but it's possible using the map. So here I came and declare a map, call it map, and assign it to the new map. Now we're gonna pass these things using the set method, and here I can come and say map.set. If you didn't know about the set method, a set method is used to set pares for a map, or set the element for a map. So here I can use the an object as its map. So for example here I want to use the a object, and I add a value to it. For example, here I pass the a, and here I can say a.set, and we wanted to add another object here, for example b, and add the value of b. And if I came here and say console.log and pass the map here, you see that we get no error, and we have this object with this value and this object with this value. That was impossible using the object. So we have some methods and properties that are really useful in a map. So to declare them, I declare a variable, call it map, and assign it to the new map. And actually this one is wrong. So here I'm gonna pass some value to the map. I open up a bracket and another bracket. Inside this I pass some value, for example 1 and the other thing is 1, the other element is 2, and that's enough. So there's a method in a map called clear. What a clear method does in a map, it clears all elements from a map. So here if I say map.clear, and it's going to clear everything. Now if I came here and say console.log and pass the map here, save it in the console, what we get is an empty map, and we didn't have anything inside this because we deleted them using the clear method. We also have the delete method. What a delete method does, a delete method delete a specific element using a specific map element using its key. So for example, I want to access the element which has the key of 1, which is this one. Now it will remove the element or the parts with the key of 1. Now if I save it in the console, we get map 202, but we didn't have 101 because it deleted using the delete method. I told you about the set method. The other method is has. What is has? If you watch out my set tutorial, you will understand about the has. Has a check for being existed, for existence of a specific element in a map. So if it exists, it's returned true. If it's not, it's returned false. So here if I say console.log and pass this as its parameter, save it in the console, we get true cause an element with the key of 1 exists in the map. But if I came here and passed a key that didn't exist in this and save it in the console, we get false because this does not exist. And also I should mention that it's searched using the key, not the value. If I came here, for example, here pass the value and try to access this using its value, so it's impossible and you can't access it. So I say value, save it in the console, we get false because it's checked for being existing prior with the key of the value that didn't exist here. So I guess I covered all its methods and property, and I will see you in the next tutorial. Bye.